Now everybody form a circle and sit down. Hallelujah. I'm going to take you on a trip in time to a point when I was a boy living in the province of Alberta in Canada. Walking Eagle, great chief of the Stony, also known as Morley Beaver, would bring his braves and their families into town. And while they visited the stores and trading posts, the tiny papooses, dressed in beaded buckskin and snugly wrapped to boards, were placed in a row on the store shelves. The papooses never cried. Chief Walking Eagle would tell me stories of life in the forest and of how he learned to forecast weather from the animals. His forecasts were always accurate. One day, the great chief invited me to a sacred celebration called a sun dance, which was being held by another tribe. Now somebody in your circle take a puff from a peace pipe and pass it to a friend. Pass it all around. Hold hands and sway from side to side. If you feel it, act out the scene in body sign language. Now it's evening. The Indian people have arranged their teepees in a giant circle around the edge of a valley in the sand hills. The ceremony is in progress. Each teepee glows from a small fire inside. Around the circle, 4 horses walk. On each is a man and a child, and they are singing. In the center of the valley is a giant teepee made from the tallest poplar trees. Hanging from the top are yards of brightly colored cloth. Inside the ceremonial lodge, the medicine men sit cross-legged on the ground in a circle around a painted buffalo skull and a small fire. They appear to be having visions. Perhaps they remember how it was when their great people lived alone in the land. On either side of the medicine men are short willow barriers. From behind one, a group of men or braves who wear their hair in long braids rises and sings. Now and then they disappear, and a group of women appear from the other side. Each woman has a small feathered whistle in her mouth, and the sound soars like a wild bird as the women move to the rhythm of the drums. The sacred Sundance continues for 3 days and 3 nights. This is a special ceremony because the son of another tribal chief had hurt his arm. On the 3rd night, even though we live a few miles from the valley, the drums are as loud and as intense as if they are in the backyard. Look out, and you can see the great sheets of brightly colored northern lights dancing in the sky. The drum beats continue loud and strong. The mountains echo their message. Before the end of the 3rd day, more magic happened. The roads and trails to town became filled with carts and wagons full of people from far across the mountains, even across the Great Divide. They had come to pay their respects to the boy who was rapidly becoming well, and from then on was called Cut Boy. And after the 3rd night, Walking Eagle and his people returned to the forest, some packing their tents and belongings on sleds made of animal hide, stretched between two poles and pulled by a horse. The drums began to fade. And all became quiet in the sand hills. Pass the peace pipe to a friend. Pass it all around. Never put it down, my friend. Never let it down.